My name is Ari Wallach. I'm with Fast Company Future, and you're watching Behind the Brand.
Hey, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Today I'm here with Ari Wallach talking about everything innovation, creativity, and Ari, kind of recap what you talked about just now about unexpected partnerships.
Hey, look, what we find more often than not in the innovation space is what really pushes the boundaries is when you aren't just talking to people in your own sector, but talking to people that are outside, kind of like outside of your comfort zone. And so the conversation that we just had right now was with Ai-jen Poo from the National Domestic Workers Alliance and Darren Walker from the Ford Foundation, and really asking them, when have they pushed the limits of what was comfortable for them and what they need from that? And they both kind of gave these great examples of different projects that they've been working on that pushed them as an organization, but really drove impact in a way that they think and feel they couldn't have done had they just gone it alone.
So why don't we, or brands, or people, organizations, reach out to the unexpected partners? What do you think are some of the obstacles?
We need to reach out more. The big obstacles of why we don't do it enough is it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. It's scary, right? Like, what happens if we get rejected? And even more so, what happens if the people that we work with kind of come back to us and say, what were you thinking?
That was a ridiculous idea. How could you,
How could you do, like, and it's funny because this is, the heart of innovation is being open, obviously not just to success, but being open to failure. And sometimes that failure isn't just in product innovation, it's also in partnership innovation and working with someone else that's outside of your zone.
Give us kind of like a great case study, success story of something that definitely worked.
So I think it's the example that we just heard from Darren Walker. The Ford Foundation has been doing criminal justice work with Freedom Works, with the Koch brothers. So a large part of the Ford Foundation portfolio is probably working to push back on a lot of what the Koch brothers, let's say, are funding or organizations that they fund. But on this, they kind of found a common ground, and so they've been able to kind of move the needle and shift the policy on criminal justice reform in a way that probably would not have been possible had they not partnered with who many people consider to be within the organization of both organizations, kind of their mortal enemy.
Yeah, bipolar, opposite, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Give us, a lot of people watch this show and this series, they're entrepreneurs. Maybe give 19, 20-year-old Ari, if we're heading into 16,
Exercise more.
Yeah, 2017, that's fair. Give that teenage person some advice.
Look, you know what you do it well, right? That being said, what are you not reading? What are you not thinking about? What are you not exposing yourself to? And the bigger issue now, especially now in 2016, is we all live in this filter bubble, right? So there are algorithms that are ensuring that we only see things that we mostly agree with on social media or media in general. And so the advice to the 19-year-old out there is, and I still do this, by the way, I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. I often go to bookstores and go into magazine sections that are totally not magazines I would be interested in, and then see what can come from it. So my story from this is, like, I remember picking up like a horse and rider magazine. Like, I don't know horses, I live nowhere near horses, but I was exposed into that, to this new kind of shelter system that is a temporary shelter that they put up for horse shows. Flash forward 20 years later, a lot of the work that I do is in the refugee sector. And I go back to what I was exposed to 20 years ago about kind of new pop-up shelters, and we've been working with IKEA and others, and some of that thinking from 20 years ago was exposing myself to kind of new zones of information.
I love that advice. It's not unlike designers, who are designing shoes or buildings and getting inspiration from car industries or nature or other places. So, boil it all down. It seems like your message is all about, expect the unexpected. Try to find things in unexpected places. It's about discovery, experimentation, and trying things that might not work.
100%. And the next step of that, though, is sometimes you have to do it in tandem with others. So it's one thing to kind of be exposed and try the unexpected, but also reach out. It's cliche, but reach out across the aisle and say, hey, do we have a common ground here? And it may be not immediate, maybe 5-10 years from now, but that unusual bedfellow, the one that you would normally run from, it's more than just exposing yourself to what they do. It's literally sitting down and having coffee with them and saying, hey, let's talk about what it is that we're both trying to achieve. Maybe there's a common area there.
I love it.